Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 8 of Wands. This is a card of excitement. This is a card of a burst of energy, a flash of insight, a sudden rush of force, right? Sometimes this is pressure coming from inside, and it's just like, maybe we're just so excited we feel like we're going to burst, you know. I feel like you're somebody who is usually pretty reserved. You know, I feel like you're usually pretty like contained and pretty quiet. Right now there's something that is lighting up your life big time, like something that feels like it's, I don't know, I feel like suddenly fireworks are going off, you know? And sometimes it's startling, but I feel like it's a celebration. Yeah, I feel like it is a motivation. I feel like it is, we're being flooded with this excitement and this adrenaline and this motivation. Let's see where it's going to take us. Yeah. We're going to use the Dove and Serpent spread. There we have a Knight of Swords. We have a Knight of Pentacles. We have a Princess of Cups, 5 of Wands, and an 8 of Cups. Okay, an 8 of Cups. Over here, we've got a 2 of Wands, the Empress. Oh, yeah. We have the High Priestess as well. Very good. And there's the Knight of Wands, that leaping energy, right? We have fire and earth, right? Of the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right here with Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. And it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card is, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay, let's use our intuition. As we look around the room, though, we see just the 2 major arcana energies. The High Priestess and the Empress. High Priestess, card number 2. Empress, card number 3. The High Priestess, always leading you to your Empress life. Always leading you to what is right for you, to your health, your well-being, your healing, your celebration, your satisfaction, your victory, your win, your best life, your Big Rock Candy Mountain, your paradise, your Garden of Eden, your bliss, and your euphoric, life. Always. Trusting the intuition is not easy for you. You're not somebody that does that, especially if it kind of looks like we're going to have to go through a little bit of a swamp in order to get to the Empress life. Okay. I also want to point out we have the Aries energy in your reading. Yet once again, always in your Pisces readings, we have the influence of Aries. This is a time in your life where a lot of you are sort of evolving into a more Aries kind of nature, more confidence, more willingness to trust our impulses, right? We're not hesitating. The problem that we kind of have sometimes with this 8 of Wands is that we feel ourselves bursting from the inside out, but we hesitate. And maybe because we're kind of saying, well, what if it goes wrong, right? What if I get an 8 of Cups? What if it's not going to be that good? What if I follow my instinct and I fall into the mud? What if I trust in the horse, right? With the Aries energy, right? Leaping into something. We're on this horse and the horse is like trying to carry us away. And the 8 of Cups is kind of like, what if I fall down? Maybe I don't want to do that because it It seems risky. It seems impulsive, What we need is to trust in ourselves. Okay, now, Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's the 12th sign. Aries is the first sign. So it feels like a natural progression of your energy. I think a lot of you are finding yourselves kind of evolving into more of those Aries traits. Yeah. And I think that we are, well, as we look at these cards, we've got these knights. The knights are always looking into the future. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles, down beneath the surface, you're a very practical person. You're looking at the mountain, you're looking at the summit, you're looking at the terrain, and you're trying to extrapolate back or reverse engineer it and say, okay, what's the path to get there? What am I going to encounter? What kind of supplies do I need? What am I likely to encounter on that road, right? And we're looking at the future. We're having our vision of our success. You're looking at, well, usually looking at the Ten of Pentacles, but in this case, we're looking at the Empress life. The life we want, right? We're looking at it, we're thinking, okay, that's the top of the mountain. What's going to be in between? What might I encounter on the way? Well, what if we encounter some swampy terrain? What if we encounter, do I have my rain boots with me, The Knight of Swords, of course, is thinking about the future and thinking about the future and thinking about the future. What is the Knight of Swords looking at? The Ten of Swords. Sort of looking at this future, and we're talking ourselves out of it. We're thinking, well, it's a long way. Then we're looking at the mountain, the summit, and thinking, well, it's pretty high. I've never climbed a mountain like this before. I don't know. I've got other things to do. I've got other responsibilities. There's a lot of reasons why I shouldn't do this. It's kind of like we're not allowing ourselves to see a positive ending, a positive accomplishment, right? I feel like this is some old energy still residing in you that is the self-doubt, that is just kind of like seeing the plan and kind of feeling like there's no way to get it done. There's no way to do it. It almost feels impossible, right? Nothing is impossible. This is your time, Pisces. This is your time. I was going to call you Aries. This is your time to activate your energy and trust in this. We don't need this air energy here. And in fact, this is the only air energy we have. This is the card, looking at the future and sort of seeing all of the obstacles in our way, right? Looking forward and not able to see the Empress life, but seeing necessarily the Eight of Cups and thinking, no, there's no way through this, so I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna go back to lesser things. I feel like the Queen of Cups, or the Princess of Cups in the past position is sort of smaller goals for you, right? Smaller aspirations, going back to simpler, easier to achieve dreams, the low-hanging fruit, so to speak. Okay, so we need to get rid of this because this is preventing you from having this burst of energy that really you're gonna walk on the water. You're gonna just run right across the water here of this, the challenges, the emotional challenges here. Okay, now, this is a Saturn in Pisces energy after all. Okay, and this is really, I think, in a very real way, saying how sometimes these more challenging qualities of our Pisces nature can prevent us from really moving forward with this surge of energy, right? Following this fiery impulse to get the life we want. Preventing us from having the confidence. Maybe we're prone to a little bit of melancholy. Maybe we tend to sort of focus on what could go wrong instead of on what could go right, We tend to not trust ourselves as much. We tend to have a difficult time trusting in the intuition. I think you very much feel the intuition, but we don't always listen to it. Okay? We don't always trust it. Yeah. And perhaps going forward through this Eight of Cups is saying that we're going to have to go through some challenging feelings when we leave lesser things behind. Okay? So that might be a challenge for us as well. Okay. So we have, anyway, in the reading, we've got a lot of fire. Fire, 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 fire. We got the water, and the water over there. We have a little bit of that air energy, of course, and a little bit of that earth energy. But really, this is about your intuition taking you to your Empress life. You've got to trust it. Really, we could sum up the whole reading just with this Aries card, the Knight of Wands, fire on fire. There's no room for thought. There's no room for second guessing. There's no room for hesitation. You're on the horse. The horse is charging off to your destiny. And you've got to hold on. You've got to be confident. The horse will sense if you don't trust it. You know, I've never ridden a horse, but I imagine it's important that the horse and the rider are one unit, that they trust each other. A horse that doesn't quite trust you or can sense that you don't trust yourself or that you don't have the confidence, the horse ain't going to listen to you. The horse is going to probably get a little nervous too, right? So I can sense that the Eight of Wands here is representing a little bit of nerves. Yeah, it's something that we have to fight against because this is a path that is really truly meant for you. There are restrictions that you place on yourself here with your emotions, and I feel like it's almost like you sometimes won't let yourself dream as big as you really want to. Does that make sense for you? This is Saturn in Pisces, remember. There are restrictions being put on us. Yeah, there are limitations. It's kind of feeling like, well, I only deserve half the cups. I don't deserve all the cups. I'm only getting half of them, you know. I guess that's my lot in life, is for my cup to be only half filled with love or joy, right? And so there's a tendency to sort of fall back into old habits, old patterns, and the low-hanging fruit, the things that we know will feel good. Even if we sense intuitively that there is so much more out there for us in life, a whole empress life is out there, but we don't always have the easiest time trusting the intuition. That's why this card is over here, right? The Five of Wands at the top here. To me, this is the fight. This is the struggle here between the Aries in you and the Pisces in you. And these two, it's fire and water, right? They're not... I think this is one of the most difficult transitions, right? Because not only are you fire and water that have to battle each other out, but it's also the end of a cycle and the beginning of a whole new circle around the zodiac, right? So it's kind of like you have more than one challenge here. But I feel that there is this wrestling going on as we try to let go of old attachments, old dreams or desires or aspirations, and realize that we have to follow this intuition that's taking us to an even bigger dream, an even larger life than what we had, right? And I think that you're not quite content with the sort of low-hanging fruit, right? With the more easier to achieve goals, like you want a challenge. And I think that you're willing to work through your issues and your difficulties and the restrictions that you've placed on yourself unconsciously most of the time, in order to follow this intuition, trust the horse, and leap into this new life of yours, leap onto this path, whatever it is, and get the life that you want, okay? But this is a battle between those things that are keeping us sort of locked into the old way, and the impulse, the intuition, that high priestess trying to drag you through yourself to get you to your destiny, okay? And of course, under the surface, we talked about that very practical energy with the Knight of Pentacles. But I think even this being under the surface, it feels like you can sense that there is a different future for you. That there is something else out there that you need to answer the call, and you need to go out on this journey. You need to accept the quest here, okay? Now, on the path of the Serpent, this is where things really get good, right? We've got the Two of Wands, another Aries energy. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Readings are totally free. The Two of Wands is Mars in Aries. It's kind of like this Aries energy is just not letting you sleep at night. It's just this impulse. I feel like you're waking up every couple hours with just this energy, like you don't know what to do with yourself, you know? We're fired up for something, you know? And we have a hard time kind of getting quiet again and calming down, relaxing, and going back to sleep. So maybe this is the idea that says, let's not go back to sleep. Let's do the thing. Let's get started. You know, let's get to work. Let's get fired up. Let's use this fire. Because if we don't use it, if we are convincing ourselves, you know, that we shouldn't or we can't, this is going to just brew inside of you until this is unbearable. This is, again, pressure coming from inside of you. Your own soul is putting pressure on you from the inside out. And if we don't release this pressure, well, you know what's going to happen, right? It's going to be this kind of tower moment that's going to happen. So this is kind of manifesting as anxiety, I feel like, because we know that something needs to change. We know that there's this impulse to action, but we're not, we haven't made the decision to just say, oh, okay, fine, I'm gonna go. Fine, I'll do it, you know. This is kind of like there's, again, there's this pressure growing inside of us, and it's just like you drink too much pop, you know, and the bubbles, and it just feels like you're kind of, you know, your stomach's expanding from all the carbonation. That's sort of what this card feels like, but I think it's more intuitive, obviously. It's your soul, right? And it's putting pressure on you from the inside out, saying, let me out of here. It feels like a chest burster, you know, from Aliens. It's like it's going to come out one way or the other. You might as well, like, make this process a little bit less painful on yourself, right? So anyway, the Two of Wands is that Mars and Aries energy. This is the decision. This is your ability to say that, you know what, I have the power, I have the confidence, this is my life, this is my domain, and I'm kind of the boss here, and I'm choosing to do this. It's sort of an ego fortification, where we have to realize that we can be in control of ourselves. We can control our thoughts, words, and deeds. That's about all we can control. We can't control things outside of ourselves. We can't control what other people do. So this, I think, is kind of the idea that we have to stop battling with ourselves. We have to become unified within ourselves so that we can effectively navigate all the uncontrollable things that happen out there. Okay? So I think this is the claiming of that authority. This is the just sort of that hardcore energy that says, I'm going to do it no matter what. Despite my fear, worries, concerns, despite my issues, right? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go forward in life, and I'm going to shoot for the stars. You know, I'm going to shoot for the empress life. And so we've got the empress in the environment, in your relationships. The empress is an energy that will, to me, feels like it's a nice blend of the Pisces and the Aries energies, right? That it's sort of like, you know, it's very, very energetic, very strong, but it's also flexible and yielding. It's also very sensitive. It's also very nurturing, very caring, and very compassionate. The Empress is an energy that says the more you give to this, the more you're going to get out of it. Yeah, that this life is something that you're going to have to step up and maintain it. You're going to have to nurture it. It's something that you're going to have to bleed, sweat, and cry in order to achieve and to maintain. But it's the life that we're building. It's the life that we've created. So, you know, it's kind of like you're going to work for somebody else, and you put in 80 hours a week, and you're tired, you're exhausted, you're burnt out and worn out. Versus you're putting in 80 hours a week, and you're burned out, you're worn out, you're tired, but you're working on your own stuff. You're doing your own business. It's a different kind of tired, you know? It's there's more of a meaning or a purpose there. It's something that we realize that this is our baby, and I want to put in 100 hours a week to take care of it. You know, because it's something that I've produced. It's something that I've created, or we've created, right? If it's a family kind of thing, or a partnership or something like this, right? So we're infinitely more capable of enduring the hardships when there's a meaning and a purpose behind them. When they're, especially, you know, with the example of this, if it's our business, we're more than willing to put in the 100 hours. But if I'm working for somebody else, I'm going to not be so keen on the idea. Yeah. The High Priestess is your intuition. It's in the position of the difficulty. It's all comes down to you trusting yourself and trusting Spirit and taking that leap. Okay? That Knight of Wands is leaping into this new life, into this new energy. And I don't know if this is any one particular thing. I feel like this is everything in your life. I feel like no matter what you're doing, you're kind of in the mode of taking the lead on it. You're not in the back seat. You're not letting somebody else drive the car. You're trusting yourself to drive. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. I think this is really wonderful energy for you. I think a lot of joy and satisfaction is going to come out of your hard work. I really do. This mystery card, maybe a 6 of Cups, 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, Or a 6, 9, or 10 of Pentacles too. We'll take that. Let's see what we've got. We've got the Moon. The Moon, very nice, because this is your superpower card. This is the card that is associated with the sign of Pisces. So this represents your kind of, your true self in a way. It's interesting that we have this reference to a fully realized Pisces person evolving into that Aries energy. You know, claiming some of that Aries energy, blending into it, easing into it. Not, okay, goodbye Pisces, hello Aries. No, it's a merging. It's a flow from one to the other, right? And so fully realized Pisces, this is somebody who's ready to face the challenge, ready to face the unknown. This is a doorway, a dark, scary doorway. It's a dark, scary forest. You're at the edge of a major transition in your life. You're at the edge of a dark wood. Are you going to enter it, or are you going to turn back? Your Aries nature says to enter it, because there's going to be success beyond your wildest dreams there. But there's that Pisces party that says, well, maybe not. Okay. This is a threshold for you. Yeah. This is uncertainty. We're faced with, I don't know what in the future. Yeah. We can plan for it. We can think about it all we want. But really what the Knight of Wands is doing is really just doing it. Like the Knight of Wands looking at the Ten of Wands. Thinking, how much effort do I need? How much gas do I have to put in? It's not should I go or what supplies to bring, but do I have enough fuel to get there? Right? It's just kind of like we're burning, we're ready to go. It's like, do I have the gas? Let's go. You know, that's the only thing that we need is the fuel in the tank. And we're going into that dark, scary forest, and we're going to find all sorts of stuff. Yeah. Right now, let's find the extended reading. Okay? We're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Pisces Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you want to watch the readings over at the website, go to doveandserpenttarot.com or find me on Patreon. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.